Cheers, dude.
So there's 20. Scatology 20.
Stop.
Will Izzard?
I'll just be myself, right?
Yeah.
Why,
Definitely.
do you do characters?
I do characters,
You
but
do
it'll
characters.
cost you though.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. If that's in the budget.
I'm not sure if we have that in the budget. We'll just see how we go,
Yeah.
I think.
Jez, Jobbie, Alex on the production team.
I don't need to lead forward though. Hey, Mum.
Hey,
I'm famous now.
You know you've made it.
I know I've made it. It's the rugs.
Yeah, the rugs are
You see
nice.
the rugs,
aren't
it's like I made it.
they? Yeah, with the baffles and everything. It's pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
the real Persian rugs.
Made from real Persians.
Straight from
I can
Alright.
I smell the guts actually of Persian. Yeah.
straight from
Yeah,
Rugs
it's
a Million.
distinctive. It's a distinctive scent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rugs a Million. They're going broke every week.
Call, carpet, call the experts in the trade. Yeah.
So, man,
Hey, bless.
glad
What's
to
up?
have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Will and I have just met
Yeah.
at JMI. So we're first years together,
First year students.
and we're
My
going to
first
end up.
degree.
Yes, we don't.
Yeah.
We're going to end up getting to know each other really well over the course of the degree, I'm sure.
Jack Murray's Institute.
Yes,
Jack.
yes. Oh, Jack.
I've
Channel.
seen better days. Oh no, it's not him.
No, that's Les Murray.
Pete Murray?
What does it stand for?
Jazz Music Institute.
Oh, excellent. Go the Jazz.
Yeah. Oh man, it's a
Foundational.
pretty good church, the old Jazz.
Foundational.
Yeah. Foundational. That's
It is.
really true.
Probably as rootsy as you can get.
It's pretty good. Like I don't know. It's I expected so much, and then it's still just delivering heaps more. And then it's cool to go there and be accepted by them so quickly. And
Yeah, man.
the people in the
Really
in the
welcoming.
institute and the people around the institute just like keen to just link and facilitate all the relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
Camaraderie,
So cool.
nice.
Yeah, it is. It's really it's
Real
like
familial.
without even trying. Like
Yeah.
you just go there and we all have that common bond of like we play instruments, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a
that's
bit
right.
weird. It's weird, but it's also like not that weird. Like, go take a step back and go, whoa, and then just go, whoa.
Well, Jeremy told you your lecturers would jam with you, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I already the first week we were there at the Jube, and the chance came, and I just got straight up there and like to jam with Dan, like the leader Dan Quigley of the school, Dance Quickly. He was in a funk band called disco funk band called what do they call it? Anyways, but to get up there and play with him, like wow, like first thing, you know.
We'll get him up on the screen.
Jamie, bring that up. You know, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, can you look up Dan Quigley Disco Band? Look that up real quick.
And you know, he's like a legend, you know, in his own right, and that. So to get I was jamming at the keys, just on whatever blues, on an F blues or whatever, and he's just he was standing right here, and he kind of leaned back, and he's just giving me the old like, because I was comping in a spot, and he's like, no, comp here.
Yeah.
Didn't have to say anything, just went, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, I get that. On the 4 and, the 1 and, the 2 and, like hit that like before the chord actually hits. He just stabs a little chord, and then it's like a anticipatory chord stab.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
you know, like orientation week, Thursday, sitting in with them. Like lessons learned, like paid for itself almost in the first go. So I mean, it's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. And do you get that through the like? Are you government subsidised? Like, is it X or
Yeah,
help or
fee
whatever
help.
they call it?
Yeah, fee help.
Fee help.
Yeah, defs. Because I'm broke as fuck.
yeah. Join the club.
Hashtag broke as fuck.
It's a big club.
Broke and woke.
Oh, fuck work. I don't buy into that
fuck
work
work.
thing.
I'm going back to bed on that too. But stay ignorant. I like to be blissful, you know.
Yeah.
Like constructive criticism after a gig. I don't want to hear that. Like I'm the best, so just leave it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I'm humble. I'm a humble guy. But yeah, no, I'm excited to, go on, like you said, go on this journey, get to know each other. We'll probably end up playing a bunch of shows.
Yeah, I know, right?
If my bass player can't make it, or I've got to, I know so many musicians. I'm sure you know so many musicians. If you ever if Paul is sick or whatever, like, come play for Blues Arcadia.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's what this is all about too.
Well, yeah, totally. I mean,
Networking.
we'll go. My people will talk to your people.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh shit, yeah.
Network the musos.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what it's all
for
about, though. Like that's half the thing. If you play good music, then the networking will kind of take care of itself. As long as you're a nice person or whatever. No one likes a dickhead.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if somebody glasses.
Except for like hot chicks, really seem to dig dickheads, but.
Young hot chicks.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean that's not my kettle anyway.
Yeah, it's been a staple of the internet for a while now. I'm sure hotchickswithdouchebags.com is still up and running.
I think that's one of those like gold digger sites, isn't it?
And if it's not up and running, I think
it's more just a
trademark.
We're gonna
a gallery.
We're gonna trademark
just a gallery of exactly what it says on the can. Hot chicks with douchebags. Hot chicks and with guys that you take one look and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
The douche is strong with this one.
It's the big wraparound sunnies. That's the giveaway for me.
Yeah.
Well, it's all over the
Do they have wraparound sunnies or not? Like, and then that's probably a good like the stringlets. I don't know. Not hating if that's your jam, like whatever, man. But
it's all over the news at the moment. The Harvey Weinsteins and the
Weinstein.
What's his name?
Weinstein.
isn't it Weinstein? I thought it was
Weinstein. Weinstein. That's
Harvey
what I'm
Winkstein.
Yeah.
I love how if I ever get in
Epstein?
trouble, I'm pulling out the whole like,
Pulling out the
my back. I couldn't have possibly raped anyone because of my back. It's like, what, dude?
It's not a new.
He's just trying to get a lighter sentence.
Who else did that? It was Bill Cosby or some shit. He was like,
Oh yes, Bill Cosby.
very
Quickly,
it's like
it's
terrible
It's
humour.
not a new trick.
Terrible humour.
Back in the 90s when we had you'd remember Christopher Skase, who
yes.
scammed a lot of people and then scarpered off to Majorca and found himself coming down with all sorts of ailments that prevented him coming home to face trial.
absolutely. It's
I won't be able to breathe.
the varicose veins.
Yeah,
You jet set. You land. I can't come back.
Did that?
It got better.
My brain,
DVT.
it got better once the trials were accredited. It's like, this stressful weight is lifted.
Wow. What a coincidence.
No.
What an amazing miracle of health that was.
Hashtag me too, though.
Hashtag me too, thanks.
Oh, it happens to dudes too. Like it.
Christopher Skase.
No, like the Harvey Weinstein thing.
Weinstein.
Sexual predation.
Yeah, it does
Yes,
happen.
if you come across a Kevin Spacey
Dudes do rape dudes
early
as well.
in career, that can be quite unpleasant.
I mean, not to disrespect anyone who has been sexually assaulted, but if a rich dude approached me, I would bang him real hard, so when he's passed out, I could dig through his wallet, no problem. You know what I mean? Make some money off it. Yeah.
Everybody's getting raped out here. Whatever that meme was. What was that meme? You remember that one? It was like a news report, and
Everyone's getting raped out here?
it was like, hide your kids, hide your wife, because everybody's getting raped out here.
I've not seen that meme, but it's my friend's profile picture. So
It was a good while ago.
yeah.
Probably.
I like the one where
probably
he's like,
7 years.
"Fuck her right in the pussy." Can I swear on here?
I believe
I'd
so.
rather you didn't.
Oh, okay.
My mum
Sorry,
watches
sorry.
this, and she's a
Hey, mum.
Do you
Wait,
want
my
us to
mum-
bleep it out for
My
your
mum
mum?
and girlfriend. Bleep. My mum and girlfriend.
My aunt might
are
watch
dying
it.
to watch this. So I was like, I'm going on a podcast. Like, let us see. You know?
We've got some nice chicken sounds. We can just go if you want.
Fuck shit, cunt, pussy. Alright, cool. It's that. I'm cool now.
Yeah, you got
Okay.
that E-system?
I think, bitch. I think so. That's the Tourette's though. I didn't mention.
Oh, okay, cool. Tourette's is fun.
I bet they've got a story on the current affair about that tonight.
I don't really watch the current
I
affair.
just saw an ad for it.
What's going on? A crazy
Oh,
person.
just sensationalism. Trying to sell stuff on commercial TV that's dying. It's like a freak show thing. Sorry, current affair.
That's TV though, eh? Like,
Yeah.
TV is dying.
legacy
They
media
do
in
have
general
they do
is
have
on
some
its
good
way
freak
out.
shows at the moment. Like
Seems to be like bread and butter.
1,000-pound sisters.
Married at First Sight.
That sort of freak show.
That's a freak
That's all
show.
about-
My
that's a
daughter
freak
watches
show.
that.
That's a freak show right there.
Yeah.
What with the lips and the...
With the lips
Yeah,
and
totally.
the hips and the nips.
Uh-huh.
You know, the thighs and the eyes and the tries.
Yeah.
He kissed the other girl.
Yeah.
What's good is the Friendly Jordis thing. Have you guys heard of Friendly Jordis on
No.
YouTube? He's just some young intellectual sort of guy, and he does these like revisions on the show. Like he'll be like, he reviews it, and it's just trash, you know. So he's just making fun of the whole thing the whole time.
Yeah.
He's a very, you know,
it Welsh?
for me to advocate that.
No, Jordie
like, I don't
from
want to
around
align.
Newcastle, the north.
Oh, his name's Jordan.
Is he a Geordie though? Like, is he? From
No. He's cool. Well, not to imply that they're not cool. Like whoever the Geordies aren't
The
cool.
northern
They'll beat
England.
the shit out of you.
Northern England. That's Geordie.
Oh yeah.
That Geordie accent.
Yeah.
Short that bloody git.
But
Well, it's a friendly
but,
Geordie.
see, you can't escape.
The ones that don't bash you.
That's the beefcakes and the hips and the nips. You know, you can't escape them. They're everywhere. It seems to be like a common trait or common thread.
And reality
in the
TV,
zeitgeist.
if I was more optimistic about the future of humanity, I mean, I'm not, obviously, but if I were, I think that future generations would look back on the early 21st century, the heyday of reality
Like
TV.
Big Brother was Greta Colleen.
The same way that,
Them
that
ones.
you and I look back on the Roman Colosseum. Now, when
The heyday of voyeurism.
I don't know, man. That building's still standing. Like those
Yeah.
roads are still there. Like,
I had a friend who worked at OzSpy when the first Big Brother series was on, and they got a lot of their
OzSpy?
OzSpy is a company that sells things to mostly perverts, but to people that need surveillance equipment.
Sorry,
and
what's
that? Sort
that?
of
Can you
thing.
link me that address?
Absolutely.
Link in the below.
Just below, what's it called?
OzSpy.
At OzSpy?
Sorry, I was just.
I'm
like,
sure
yeah.
they've got a presence. You can
OzSpy.
Google that one.
I think
yourself.
they're buttplugs.com now. Anyway, sorry. Let's continue.
I think voyeur.com is also one of them.
Buttplugs.com.
Yeah, when we were
Links
first
below.
going to uni, I mean, my first year was 2004 or thereabouts, so it was when Big Brother was first starting, and I'm sure all three of us remember that the postgrads were absolutely glued to Big Brother.
It was enthralling at the time. It was like the first thing.
Specifically to them,
Still scripted.
because
Postgrad psychology.
because
Oh,
after things like the Milgram experiment and the Stanford prison experiment,
that's where they were kind of split randomly, and then the people with the power started abusing
Yeah,
the
that's the
prisoners.
stand-
Yeah.
prison
That's the
experiment.
prison one.
Yeah.
What's the
Prison
other
guards and the prisoner.
Milgram.
What's the Milgram one? What is that?
the Milgram one is where they
Electric shocks?
have
Oh, where they get to shock them, and then they
Yes,
found
if-
out people
if you
really
get-
like to shock without consequence.
as long as there's someone in a
Authority,
white
yeah.
coat telling them that
Obedience
The
and authority.
authoritarian thing.
Yeah.
that how
Oh.
obedient
It's
people
okay.
are to
He's not going
authority,
to die.
and
Wow.
It's
how
okay,
many
he's not
people
gonna
were
die.
prepared to go up to the fatal dose level.
But
Of,
that's the whole, like, this is my beef, like, to radically
Yeah.
segue here, like, that's my beef with Star Wars, because, like, the Jedis are painted as the light side, right? But they kidnap babies, and they force them into training. They deny the holistic nature of the Force, focusing only on the light, right?
They kidnap babies.
They kidnap babies. You're not allowed, like, Anakin was too old, and he was like 5, 6. They kidnap
10 or
babies
something, yeah.
and force them to embrace this sort of one-sided view of a holistic
Interstellar
energy.
stolen generation.
Bam, and then force them to go out and do their building, giving them high energy weapons and training them beyond like human capacity to go out and do their bidding. Like, that is evil as fuck. That's like the Catholic Church. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Anyways.
Catholic Church is evil as fuck. You heard it here first. Scatology.
Yes.
I don't think it's the first time that's
No,
been
no.
said, but
I suppose the point I was
I do
making
go to
was the
Catholic
postgrads were all absolutely glued to
love
things
them.
like Big Brother, specifically because these shows were doing something that they would never ever be allowed to do.
If it was a psychology,
If it was a psychology experiment,
Yeah.
it would
they could not do that.
It would
They
never
really
be
could not
allowed.
do that.
Absolutely.
True story.
Not these days.
And-
It was changed because of those.
And lived alone for a long time, but when the first series was on, I still lived in a house with flatmates. So
you're talking Big Brother?
Watch that shit, yes. And the first thing in the first series the first task they gave these complete strangers was a quiz, subject, each other. So as soon as they met, they were
making base judgments.
Give up the goods on themselves and making themselves as vulnerable as possible to these.
What, they're writing down their first impressions of somebody else?
No, they're going to be doing a quiz on the subject of each other, and so everyone.
After how long of meeting?
Oh, within minutes.
Same day.
Within minutes.
Yeah.
What did you think of this dude? Oh, nice shoulders. Great tits.
Everyone's telling
Nice eyes.
Nice collection
telling
of
stuff
hats.
that they would never tell anyone unless they were obscenely drunk. And that's just an incredible way to make yourself vulnerable. But reality TV's refined its game. Was still our uni days when There's Something About Miriam was on.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember
Now the
that
trans
actually,
thing's
yeah.
perfectly acceptable, but back then it was kind of a big deal.
Was that a soapy?
Yeah,
No, it was a reality TV show.
I remember
was,
when they
a
found
UK
out that
yeah.
he was a chick and they
UK
were all
reality
like,
TV
oh.
show.
It was very bro culture, that reaction.
Yeah,
So it's
well,
like-
She
that's
was
the-
hot. I mean, she
Yeah.
was
It's
identified
like-
as a woman, so like, what's the
It's like The
problem?
Bachelorette. Basically, the show, it was like The Bachelorette. They got these dudes on trying to get
Yeah,
them to
and
fall in
these
love
were
with Miriam.
these were
With real
seriously.
lads.
All after one chick.
Proper
Yeah.
English
Yeah,
blokes.
all
like,
after one chick.
Oh yeah, they were really
And there's something
blokey
about me.
blokes.
traditional
Like
masculine
that's
energy.
right.
there's a cop, a fireman, a Royal Marine Commando.
It's not
These
how
were
people meet.
They kind of psychologically
What's how these
manipulated
sorts of
those
people
people
meet?
into loving a transvestite. Which
Yeah,
is,
that's
Or
right. There's
transsexual.
something
It's
about
transsexual.
Miriam is that Miriam is a transsexual. And so
And
they've
they
had this
didn't-
whole...
Oh, really?
Didn't
Yeah, they
tell her
haven't- they
until
didn't
didn't tell
they
them
didn't tell
until
these dudes.
halfway through the show.
Yeah,
So how
that
does-
was
Until,
like
like,
fucking
just until they're
28
about to
weeks
get
later.
married.
Yeah,
Spoiler
man.
alert, how did that go down?
Literally the last episode. Well,
People were
it's on the
sick.
YouTubes. You can go and see how
Yeah,
it went
yeah,
down.
yeah, you can check it out.
Actually, link below. No.
And yeah,
And now it's just Married at First Sight, where they get these beef heads and
Yeah, my
boneheads
daughter's
and
into
just-
that one.
I mean, all the girls at my work, shout out Botanica, all the girls at work are into that. They chat about it, they love it, man.
Oh,
I
yeah,
get
my
it,
daughter's
like,
one of them.
I'm too busy
Yeah.
trying to learn the shit that we've just been,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
The real shit.
But
right?
for the last 3 years, like, to change topic again, like, the thing that brought me to the jazz school, right, is I was already doing the study. Like, instead of watching TV, I was sitting down to learn scales and learn the bits of the tunes that I really loved, you know? Like, one thing I find that's missing in with the girls in particular, right, maybe I might be a bit controversial here, but a common thread that I find amongst these people that love watching this fucking bullshit is that they're searching for something and they don't know what it is. And they end up just doing nothing with themselves and just working and slaving away to do, like, basically nothing.
We're talking about under 25s, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, no, even like my good friend, I won't say her name, but she's, you know, she's got a couple of kids, she's older. And my friend's mum said the same thing. They said it's too late for me now. And it's like, that's bullshit.
That's too
Like,
late for what?
your mentality is telling you that. And the way that you don't want to actually, you know, engage with the responsibility of taking on something new is bringing you down to the point where you're like, oh, well, I'm defeated now. I'm just going to, like, give up or whatever. Like, that's ridiculous. It's never too late. You could be 75 and still be learning about, like, psychology or whatever, like music, you know. Some people don't pick up the piano until they're 65 and they hurt their back real bad because pianos are heavy, you know.
Or they try to pick it up.
Yeah, cool.
I got you.
Dooms. Wait, we got a drum kit. Can we get a
I'm
dooms?
75.
Hey, there you go. That was as pathetic as the joke. Okay, cool.
He's the drummer. I'm
Okay,
not the
cool.
drummer. I'm the bass player.
Hey, there you go. Thank you.
Tiro Puente.
Thank you. I feel validated now. Yeah. What were we talking about? Reality TV.
How you got to be at JMI?
I thought we were talking about 75-year-olds trying to lift piano.
Well, there's a reality TV show in itself.
Well,
75,
right?
like
Yeah,
a
we're
piano
just chilling.
challenge.
We're
Yeah,
just sort of chilling and talking, and like, this is reality.
Yeah,
And then
instead
the
of the
book is
biggest
bet on who
loser,
gets
it's the
the
oldest
cardiac arrest
loser.
Sorry, Alex.
Instead of the biggest loser, it's the oldest loser.
Yeah.
You ever get a
Yeah.
chest pain and you're like, today's the day. Yeah. Oh, how I got to JMI?
The waiver form is this.
Oh, do we do the origin story?
Origin
I've got
story.
Origin story.
How did you start playing piano? How did this happen?
Piano?
What led you to this moment?
Yeah,
Pianist?
well, as a pianist, I never thought I would say that about myself until probably 3 years ago or something. Like,
Yeah.
31 this year. And, it's weird. I break my life down in... My mum's all about astrology and that, so I break my life down into these 7-year cycles because every 7 years...
What? I'm a 9-year cycle man. I'm a numerology dude.
You're not... Oh,
I'm a 9-year cycle.
that's cool,
guy.
man. I respect that.
But I get what you're saying.
But hear me out. So my origin story, like, when I was 14, I was in love with rapping and just rapping. I don't know. I was in love with that, right? Had a computer, made beats, started, making beats and rapping and DJing as well. My mum saw that we were into it, so she bought us some turntables.
Oh, nice.
Exactly, and a bunch of records and that we liked, and we started, mixing and doing all these DJ tricks and rapping and getting into the scene. And through that, like, I met all these people that were like-minded, as you do. When you play bass, you meet these people who are into the same music as you, start jamming. For the next 7 years, like 14 to 21, going through high school and all that, the formative years, just making beats and rapping and skipping school to go and sit in places like this and just do whatever,
Create,
and
yeah.
creating art. And when we got older, we started making friends who were older, and they were booking gigs, and they saw the passion that we had, and they put us on, man. They gave us the chance. Like,
Became mentors,
you open up. Yeah, mentors.
In a way.
Mentors in a way, like mentors in the way that when you see a young kid with passion, you put them on. Like, it's not like, hey, let me show you. Like, we were showing them. Like, no offense to the dudes, they know who they are, but like, we were killing it. Like, our little clique in that world. So we started doing shows in that, 18, 19, 20, 21, up to that next sort of 7-year leap. We were just crushing it, making beats, and I went and bought the turntables. At the time, the technology was there where you have the mixer in between the turntables that has a USB that goes to your computer, right?
Oh, yeah, nice.
So I put the funds up to get that shit, and we were rocking up to the gigs where all these OGs of the hip-hop Brisbane world, all these dudes, man, were coming to us, booking us for the gigs, giving us their beat CDs, because before then, it's pretty... Like, no offense, but it's fucking whack to have your CD beat tape and not have a DJ there. Hip-hop is DJs.
It's like,
without the DJs, there would be no hip-hop today.
Yeah.
And so...
Blending.
Blending and taking the breaks.
You can't blend with a CD.
You were playing some funk before, right? There's some wicked breaks out there where if you just have the right timing... Those ones.
CD can't do that.
CD, well, nah, because you put your CD in of the beats you made at home, and it just plays through, and you get to hype up the crowd and all that.
Yeah.
But what we had, and what was the interesting thing for us, and what gained us kind of like notoriety, was that we were the young dudes with the tech that could make it look more official. And when you're getting photos and shit, you want your DJ in the back. So it was that simple. And then, this 7-year cycle thing I'm talking about. So 21. On my 21st birthday, I remember going to Allen's in the city and buying my first Stratocaster, because there's been a few things that had led up to that point where I was getting sick of rap. Like, I took acid for the first time, and I don't know, I don't attribute it just to that, but like, I just couldn't do what I was doing anymore. I had to just grow. I had to grow. And all my hip-hop friends kind of hated on me for that.
Are you saying that your amount of instruments that you like to play on exploded after doing acid?
I would say it was like all a part of the journey, but there was something mentally where I could just write and write and write and write, like on the computer making music and on the paper with words. I could just write forever. And then there was just a period where I changed. You know, I started changing my brain chemistry, obviously, and then I didn't want to anymore. I didn't want to do that. There was a thing in my mind where I was like, I'm a musician, you know? I don't want to be just a rapper or just a beat maker or whatever, just a DJ. I'm a musician, man. I love fucking music. I remember, like, year 2, like, what's that, 7 years old, crying to music because I liked a girl and this song was I Could Have Lied by the Chili Peppers. Is there a guitar?
I could have lied.
That's the first tune.
Such a fool.
So I turned 21, started playing guitar. My friend Jeremy, you know Doom Hippie?
No, I don't.
Well, he used to host a Triple Z. Shout out to Jeremy Doom Hippie. Anyways, he showed me my first E minor and A minor chord on guitar.
Okay.
I was working at Crushers Leagues Club. And I fucking, you know, that was the song that I cried to over a girl. So it's the first tune I learned. And it's still, I play that, you know. I became obsessed with guitar. From 21 to 28 was like the guitar times.
Here's a tune.
Yeah.
Here's a tune as well.
Is it going to be tuned up?
Probably not.
You said this is a recording studio?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's got some dadgad shit going on here. And from that point on, I got Pro Tools. I upgraded my microphones and stuff. And there was just no going back. Like, I just was in love with guitar. I played guitar all the time. Everyone began to know me as the guitar guy. Which is unfortunate because a lot of my friends... That's the tune. The thing is, I became obsessed, right? And it wasn't with the Chili Peppers, it was with John Frusciante, the singer-songwriter, the guitarist.
He's my favourite.
I became obsessed. My best friend Nathan, yeah, man, I love that shit. I got this tattoo because of him. It's the Ornette Coleman jazz cover album. It's like a hippie, stoner hippie, but if you flip it upside down, it's like Pagliacci, the sad clown, or whatever. But it's an Ornette Coleman. He's the free jazz pioneer. Ornette Coleman. It's one of his album covers. But I was in love with Frusciante. I didn't really. It was then I realized, like, I don't like the Chili Peppers. I like Frusciante and what he brings to the Chili Peppers. And I just became obsessed.
I reckon they're all. I think, me personally, I had all their albums.
Yeah.
Ever since I was puberty, I guess.
Me too, man. I was crying when I was 7 to this tune. That tune.
I used to go to sleep to Psycho Sexy when I was 13.
His 2 solo albums, Nyandra Ledez and Usually Just a T-Shirt, and Smile from the Streets You Hold, where he's all heroined out, being like,
yeah, see, I don't like that shit.
No, but when I heard, I love it. Like when I first heard that, it was like nothing I'd ever heard, and it was this dude like cracked out, spewing his shit everywhere. No one likes it. No one likes that shit. Nobody fucking likes that shit. I work in kitchens, and I used to play that shit in the kitchen, and these dudes listening to like, I don't know, Parkway Drive and that, like post-hardcore or some shit.
Yeah.
They were like, man, what the fuck is this? You know, like, but they'd say that for Zappa. I put on like Apostrophe or Overnight Sensation. They would be like, this is shit. And it's like, your music, you know, like, it's about taste.
It's heroin music, because Nirvana did kind of the same.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Nirvana in the time.
Well, they had some songs that were similar.
I don't know. Probably. I'm just.
Allegedly.
What if
Allegedly. But he went to the same place as Frusciante, that screamy.
Yeah, totally. Him and River Phoenix and like Johnny Depp and all that. Like Johnny Depp, John Frusciante, they were at the club, the Viper Room, when River died of an overdose. Like they would have all been on the same drug as him.
Chili Peppers were there too.
Not that like is cool or matters, but I mean it's just part of the history. But
I think all the Chili Peppers were there. I think Flea and Anthony were there too.
Yeah, I mean it's well publicized. Anthony loves getting fucked up, and like his dad fucked him up from early. Whatever. Whose dad didn't fuck them up? Am I right? Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Click that little bell.
And then, yeah, so like, I became obsessed. My best mate would attest. Like, I became just a copy of him. Like, I was just in my imitation phase. They were talking about that at school. Imitation, assimilation, innovation. So you see what you like and you copy that so much that you start to sort of become it, and then you become something else after. Right?
Some academics put a progressive model to it. Isn't that sweet?
Isn't yeah. That's how I feel about
someone
jazz.
got
It's
a thesis.
Someone had to sit down and do it, and then they were like, okay, well, that's jazz or whatever. But,
Sorry, I'm just being
facetious? Facetious, not appreciate. But hashtag.
overly critical.
And then
Hashtag facetious, not appreciate.
I fell in love with a girl, and it was the love of my life, and then it didn't go so great. And I didn't play guitar for like 3 years or whatever. I had become estranged from everything I had loved about music and the way that I had made music up until that point. Like on the computer, on the guitar, making songs, just writing shit. You know, all my first tunes I ever writ are still up on ReverbNation.com/William Milne.
Oh, nice.
They're still up there.
You
I
saved
listened the other day, and I was like, these are kind of banging. Like, but I could definitely see the Frusciante influence. Like, I'm just straight ripping
Right on.
how I was feeling, and you know, the whole time, like from 14 to let's say 28, right, 14 years, there was a keyboard there, but I never knew what was going on. Like, the first song I ever wrote was about weed and my relationship to her, and it was called Jane Doesn't Care.